So, Gopal, I have one more question which is very, very pertinent. In the ashram, when I moved in, I think my spiritual progress sort of enhanced when I took shelter of a spiritual master who helped me guide, was a guide for me.
Yes.
He showed me right from wrong, what
Correct.
not to do, what books to read,
True.
and how to practice. In the world of sport, we have the equivalent in the terms of a coach.
Correct.
How is it that an athlete can A, help find the right coach, and B, evaluate that relationship so that he's learning as much and is constantly moving ahead, or if not growing together?
Correct. Correct. Thank you. Very, very valid and important question, Shamal. Thank you for asking a question. As you rightly pointed out, in the arena of spirituality, in the area of spirituality, a guru, a spiritual master, a spiritual guide is the one who actually helps you navigate your journey
Yes.
in reaching where you want to reach in your spiritual pursuits.
Correct.
In the area of sport and in the area of life in general, in any area, I do not think there can ever be a substitute to a good guru, a good coach, a good mentor.
Yes.
And when we talk about the characteristics or the features or those qualities that a coach must embody, a guru or a teacher must embody to help the student, the person who's being coached, I would say there are a couple of things that come to my mind. One is that a coach should have a very high level of competence
Yes.
in whatever areas. I mean, needless to say, that's something that's like the simplest. Any area of life where
Whatever
we're
is
learning, whatever the area, spirituality, sports, medicine, science, anything. We certainly look at competence. But that I feel is least on the list, according to me.
It's abundant, isn't it?
Abundant. There's so
Competence is
many
abundant.
people. Abundant. You'll have N of those who are highly competent and highly skilled in what they have to offer in their respective fields and areas. The second thing I feel, which is extremely important, is that a coach should have a very high level of character. And when I talk about having a very high level of character, I mean that a coach has to be very unbiased. A coach has to be very equally disposed to his or her students. Because knowledge is something that's meant to be given to all who come to seek it.
Correct.
Of course, there will be one or two amongst the others who have shown extra interest, who've shown really great performance, so the coach is obviously going to give attention
Yes.
to that individual who's really doing well. But that's not because he or she is biased. That's because the student has displayed something exceptional,
Correct.
which needs to be taken to another level. Like Dronacharya in the Mahabharata was, out of all of his students, he was unbiased. He was teaching everyone equally. But of all of his students, he focused a lot on Arjun, not because he was biased towards Arjun, but because Arjun displayed a certain kind of commitment to his learning, displayed a certain kind of potential that others did not possess.
Correct.
So that's not called bias.
No, that's not.
When I talk about bias in terms of character, I talk about utilizing power to favor someone whom you like, personal favors.
Yes.
Sometimes showing favors to certain individuals in the group for vested interest in terms of financial gains coming from the other person.
Yeah.
I also mean utilizing power, or even again vested interest, gaining some financial merits by recommending people in tournaments.
Yeah.
That's what I mean by character. A coach should have a very high level of character. It does not matter, I like this person, so I send him to the team.
Yeah.
No. I got so much favor from this person, so I send him to the team. No. Does the person deserve it? Will the person really be an asset in the team? Even if I personally dislike that person as an individual?
True.
even if I have nothing at all to gain from that individual, an ideal coach who has the highest level of character will send that person in the team. But this is the second thing I feel. Competence, character. The third essential principle that should be seen in a coach is that the coach, the teacher, the guide should display a very high level of confidence in the student.
Yes.
One of the things that most guys lose it on is that the teacher, the coach, didn't believe in me.
Yeah.
He didn't believe in my
I
potential.
agree. 100%.
You know, there's tremendous potential existing in there. In the Ramayana, you have the example of Jambavan. Hanuman was sitting there, all the monkeys were saying, we'll jump across the ocean to find Sita. And they didn't have the ability. Hanuman had the complete potential, but he had forgotten it. Jambavan came and reminded Hanuman that he had the ability to jump across the ocean in one leap, find Sita and come back in that one leap. Up until then, he had totally forgotten. Imagine having a coach who can remind you of your potential, who can trust and believe in you and does not feel the insecurity that if I make this gentleman better than me, what about my name, my fame,
Correct.
my position in the world out there? That will be jeopardized if someone goes above me. Jambavan did not think about it. He did not think that if Hanuman gets all the credit of finding Mother Sita, who's going to talk about me having guided him? And literally no one spoke about it.
Yes.
But he didn't mind. That's leadership. That's coaching. That's teaching. When you find a coach who can actually trust and believe in your potential, I feel it really, the potential of an individual blossoms to levels that even the individual could never have imagined.
Yes.
So therefore I feel the third aspect, someone who believes in you, that confidence that she shows in you. And the fourth is comfort. A comfort in relationship, which is why the coach and the student shouldn't be just interacting with each other on the field. There are other times where they share very casual moments. They eat together sometimes. They just chat together. The coach comes over to the person's home. The person goes over to the coach's home. Because it's about a personal relationship as well. Because when there is comfort, hearts open. And when hearts open, the transfer of knowledge, the transfer of wisdom, the transfer of experience, the transfer of skill very naturally happens.
Yeah.
So when there's that comfortable relationship, that is when I feel, the individual who's being coached
Correct.
can come up to a level that is actually unfathomable.
Correct.
So 4 C's: competence, character, confidence, and comfort. And in terms of the second part of the question you asked me that...
Yeah, I think the second part's extremely relevant because the 4 C's could be the foundation pillars of finding a good spiritual master coach. But that's 1 in a million, 1 in a billion.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
The
I
chances of
totally
finding
agree.
someone with this is... So how do we move ahead? Because that's going to be the biggest challenge.
Yeah. A is seek and you'll find. Good answer to give. Shamal. Good answer to give. Seek and you'll find. But I also think when you do have a coach, it's hard to find a coach with having all of these in one.
Yeah.
If you do, you're the blessed one, I would say.
Without a doubt.
Extremely fortunate if you find someone you
For
have
sure.
all of these in one. But if you don't have all of these in one, my recommendation, especially in the arena of sports, would be that you find a coach who is competent enough to teach you skills and leave him only to that.
Okay.
And don't expect more than that.
Okay.
If you're expecting more than that, you would be disappointed because he or she doesn't have it.
Okay.
So just keep him or her to the area of competent
competence.
skills. And for your confidence and comfort, then have someone who is your guide, your mentor, who doesn't have the competence in terms of sports skills, but does understand that area actually, because otherwise how is he going to understand your
Correct,
mindset? But understands what sports means, what things mean in that area of sports, and then with that kind of a person around you, that's the person who will believe in you, trust in you, unfold your potential, make a relationship where you open your heart to the skills that are taught by someone else.
And I think this model could be extremely beneficial to have multiple mentors in different areas.
Absolutely,
Because
absolutely.
you're not letting emotional baggage come into it, you're not letting a
Absolutely. I agree.
conflict of interest
Completely
coming
agree.
into, and you can get an unbiased point of view from each one.
Totally, totally.
It's undoubtedly, I think, the best model to go forward. So, thank you very much.
Thank you
Gaurav.
very much,
This was
Shamal. It was a
amazing.
great pleasure meeting you, and I look forward to more such interactions.
100%.
Thank you.